Come on in, please, Congressman, Iowa Congressman Rod Blum. Congressman, great to see you, and I want to share your news with our audience. Do you have that $300,000 check with you? And please explain to our audience what you're doing.
Good to be with you this morning, Stuart. I'm from Iowa, but my cow print jacket is at the dry cleaners, so I apologize for that.
No, you need a corn jacket, man. That's for sure.
Yeah, I have a check here for $275,000 payable back to the taxpayers of this country, and we underspent our $1.3 million budget by 20%. We had 20% savings, Stuart, and this is the amount of money we saved in 12 months in our congressional office.
Huh,
and
okay.
I know a lot of the career politicians and a lot of the career bureaucrats in this town, Stuart, would laugh at this kind of money, but that's exactly the reason we have $20 trillion in debt. Because a billion here and a billion there adds up.
Far be it from me, a mere TV guy, to lecture someone like you, sir, on government spending. But didn't you know that in government, if you're allocated a certain amount of money, you got to spend it? Because if you don't spend it, you don't get it next year.
Absolutely correct, Stuart. And it's one of the things I have bemoaned about Washington, D.C. since I got here 3 years ago. I'm a career small businessman, Stuart. And one of the things that drives me crazy is there are no incentives in the federal government to save the taxpayer money. Right. There's only incentives to spend every dime plus 10% of what your budget is. So we're trying to lead by example. And I computed this number, $275,000, Stuart. We could buy metal detectors with this money for every single high school in my district in Iowa.
Okay, that's a pretty good message. I'm glad you delivered it on this show because our audience appreciates that kind of thing, sir. One more for you. President Trump, while meeting with state governors, he said the federal government will provide funding to help with school safety. What do you say to that, and where's that money going to come from?
I have been saying over the last great question, Stuart, over the last 2 weeks, I've been saying that we need to protect our high school students the same way we're protected in Congress. You cannot get into my office building in Washington without going through a metal detector that is manned by an armed guard, and we should have an armed guard with a metal detector in every high school in the United States. This would end school shootings inside school buildings overnight. And I could buy a metal detector for every high school in my district with this savings from our budget in just 1 year.
Okay, we got it. Congressman Blum, thanks very much for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Stuart.
Yes, sir.